welcome back to another episode of our life seasons where we talk about the different seasons of life and how we grow through it. I'm your host Wen, and before I start today's episode, I just want to say that from now on, I'll be wrapping up each episode with a relevant quote that I love, so please feel free, or please be sure to stay till the end. So I've also noticed that some of you have taken the time to rate this podcast a 5 stars on Spotify. So thank you. I'm so excited, and I would love it if you could actually leave a review of this podcast on whichever platform that you're on, so that I know that you guys are actually loving episodes like that, and we can share and reach more people and grow our community. So let's begin into today's episode. So this is my very first requested episode, and I think you kind of want to remain anonymous. And the question, or rather the request, is having the things you want but not in the right way doesn't mean that you own it, and you will suffer when it leaves. Like you lost a part of yourself, but you can always get back on track and try to have it in the right way only if it's meant for you. It's not just, if not, just let it go, which was what you were supposed to do in the first place. So first of all, thank you so much for this request. I really appreciate it. Now, before moving on to today's topic, or rather before diving deep into like the nitty-gritty of today's topic, I just want to say that this topic is very, very, very relevant to the lessons that I'm learning in life since the start of October 2023, which was last year, and I am still learning this concept of surrendering and letting go. So looking back, for as long as I can remember, I was someone that loves to be in control, or at least feel like I am in control of everything that is happening inside and outside of my life. I lived a life that is very restricted and filled with tons and tons of resistance. I always feel like life can be good and bad, right? And whenever the bad part of life hits, I'll be like, oh my god, look at this again. Like, why is life happening to me again? And it's almost as if I've thrown all the knowledge and the wisdom that I have into the bin. It's like I can be someone that is so wise talking about, different topics on this podcast episode, but the moment life hits me with like, I don't know, like a train wreck, and it becomes like a train wreck and I'm in a mess, it feels like every single wisdom and knowledge that I know is out the window. And it was only until I learned this concept that I'm gonna be talking about in this episode of accept, detach, and surrender. Okay, so what my life looked like was that I would only take actions after I've got a backup plan for if I failed. So I would also find someone or something to blame when things go wrong. I get pissed and start complaining about how life sucks because something just doesn't go the way I want it to. I have this mentality of it's my way or the highway, and it really pulls me down. I was constantly thinking about the past, and I was focused on what went wrong and how I could have avoided it instead of what lessons does this particular thing bring me. So this may be very familiar to you too, and it stops today. Okay, so let's walk you through my journey, or rather the journey that I've discovered to surrendering. So to start, I want you to understand that the road to surrendering is definitely not a straight road. Okay, there are 2 pit stops that you can't miss. So these pit stops has helped me to get the hang of what it really means to surrender and how it feels like to finally allow myself to find the balance in life and love life a little bit more, to become who I am today, and to also help me to fast track a lot of my manifestations that I've manifested in 2023. So, which I talked about, I think, in one of the episodes where I talk about, the spring seasons of life, and I go through every single month of the little things that I've manifested in life, and I can tell you that it's so mind-blowing because there are certain manifestations that I've not even thought of, but I'm able to manifest in my life. And that all happens because I choose to surrender, I choose to I choose to accept, and I choose to detach myself from whatever that is happening in my life. Okay, so this is something that you need to start to understand, that nothing on this road of self-help, or rather growth, is straight. Okay, there will always be pit stops. It's always, like, in a sense, like a messy middle, right? So I would say that the 2 pit stops before surrendering are acceptance, and detachment. So think of this whole journey as accept, detach, and surrender. Okay, so let's break it down further of each pit stops, and because it actually focuses on different lessons to learn and things that you need to work through for different pit stops. So pit stop number 1, accept. So there are 3 things that you need to come to terms with before you can even carry on with your journey to surrendering. Okay, number 1, we can't have full control of what happens in our lives. There are things that we can control and there are things that we can't control. Like I said, it's the duality of life. So naming a few things that you can control is your mind that houses all your thoughts and stories that you tell yourself, your emotions, your actions, which is how you respond to negative situations, your decisions, what you choose to focus on, and how you treat others. And there are so many other things that you can actually have control in your life. But the things that we can't control, and you'll find it amazing how we try to control the things that we can't control. Okay, number 1, the outcome to any situation. Number 2, how long it takes for your manifestations to come into your life, your environment, and how others react and like have opinions on whatever that it is that you're talking about. Okay, so the key here, and this is really important, the key here is not try to control what you're being handed, but to do your best with the things that you are handed in life. And that is to accept the whole tangled mess that comes with life. And guess what? When you decide to sit down and take the time to untangle some of this mess, instead of getting frustrated and tugging on to every and any single string that you can see, the purpose or lessons of what this mess is trying to teach you will actually slowly reveal itself to you. Okay, let me repeat that again. The key here is to not try to control what you're being handed, but doing your best with the things that you are handed in life. Okay? So, number 2, things that you need to come to terms with is everything is happening for your future self. And if you're scared about the unknown and uncertainty of your future, or if you're even like scared or have anxiety or worry when you think about your future, I would say go listen to last week's episode where I dive deep into what our subconscious mind hears when we say future. And I offer you a change of perspective on my take on future. Okay, so know that things don't always go as planned, because most of the time you'll be given what you need and not what you think you want. So you might as well accept it now. Okay, in life, we don't always get what we want because the universe is always trying to let us see that, there are certain things that we need that we may not even think that we need, but it's something that we need to grow. And whatever that we want might not be like beneficial for us at that moment. Okay? So, number 3, like it or not, there will always be obstacles to grow through. One down, another one comes. So this is a very good equation that this listener has sent me. Pain plus acceptance equals to growth. Pain plus resistance equals to suffer. I wouldn't really want to use the word suffer because it's a very big word. So I want to change it to pain plus resistance equals to hurt. Okay, but it's a really great equation. So I don't really like the word pain either. So because you don't have to necessarily feel pain if you choose to accept what is. I like the word obstacles better. So obstacles are always present in our lives and they're not gonna go anywhere. But what can change is how you actually respond to it. Okay, you can resist its presence and you'll hurt yourself more by whining and sulking, or you can actually accept it and open yourself up to receiving the lessons that each obstacle is trying to teach you and grow while you're at it. It's your choice. Either ways, if you have not noticed, obstacles are still going to be a constant in your life. And I rather choose the latter, where I am able to receive and open myself up to receiving all the lessons and grow with it. Okay, it's your choice. So pit stop number 2, which is on detach and letting go. So true freedom is when you start to detach from the things that you can't control. Okay, so pit stop 2 is on detaching or letting go or letting go of control, however you want to call it, every rejection is a redirection for better things in your life. But you first need to accept and be open for receiving. Okay, let me repeat that again. Every rejection is a redirection for better things, but you need to first accept and be open for receiving. So for every doors closed, it will redirect you to the ones that is meant for you. It will be the doors that were meant to open for you. It's the universe way of saying, nope, not this door. I've got something better prepared for you. So be ready to receive it. So let's just say you got rejected by a company, or you got rejected by someone that you love, or your college application got rejected. Know that it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to start spiraling. You don't have to start going into this mode of, oh my god, why is life like that? You don't have to beat yourself up for it. Okay, that is okay. Rejection is okay. Think of it as a stepping stone to lead you closer to your desires, because rejection is a redirection. Okay, so when we have this mindset, we begin to detach ourselves from everything around us. We no longer take anything personal. We detach and we bring in inner peace. Okay, so there is a little exercise that I found really helpful for myself, and I want you guys to try out as well, to detach and to surrender. So first, I want you to start by observing and just being self-aware of all the heavy thoughts and emotions that you're attaching yourself to. So it can be like, I only feel worthy when I reach this certain goal, or I'm not someone that can ever be confident, or I'll be broken, or rather I'm always broke because that was how I was brought up, or I'll never be good enough for love, or I'll never find true love. Whatever that is like for you, list them down. And I'm serious about this. List all the heavy emotions and thoughts that you have, all the limiting beliefs that you have, all the stories that you've been holding on to it. List them down, okay? So now, after that, I want you to notice how much resistance and pain your body has been holding this in for you. Don't shame yourself for it. Know that, it's simply okay. Simply observe, let go, and accept, okay? Now imagine this. You have tons of invisible strings that is being attached to your body, right? Every string represents a different part of your life. It can be your childhood trauma, it can be your beliefs of not being good enough, you can be people's opinions, it can be the stories that you were told, the identity that you hold on to that no longer serves you, the emotions that you hold yourself to, your comfort zone that is keeping you small, etc. Right? With each thoughts and emotions attached to it is a string. So imagine all these strings being attached to your body and your soul, and it's weighing you down because they are so heavy. Now, I want you to start imagining yourself cutting off each string as you repeat this mantra. I now free myself from what no longer serves me. Okay? I want you to breathe deep with every cut and exhale upon making the cut, and know that this is you letting go. Letting go of the identity that no longer serves you, letting go of the stories that you've been told, choosing a new and empowering story, letting go of fear, letting go of worry, letting go of the attachment to every outcome, letting go of, relationships that no longer serves your highest good, letting go of negativity, letting go of mindset that is stopping you from reaching your fullest potential, okay? This is you letting go. I want you to feel it. Feel yourself getting lighter from all the released emotions and thoughts that, you've just released by cutting off the cords. So this is the start of your freedom to living a life that you have full control over, okay? You have a choice. And when I say full control, I mean the controls of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, okay? So detaching also means cutting off one of the strings that is so important, and that is the string of ego, and not allowing it to control your emotions and actions anymore. Because most of the time, we flare up when we don't get what we want because our ego is being hurt, okay? So by accepting that you can't control your outcome and detaching yourself from your ego, you make peace with yourself. When the ego is at play, you take everything personally, okay? You start to react and you start to get so pissed off and so frustrated and try to find something or someone to blame just because your ego is hurt. But when you detach yourself from your ego, or rather you don't allow your ego to take the lead, you start to respond to life. Okay, this allows you to take back your power on your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Okay, which is something that we have control over. Now, once that's all done, when you accept and you detach, you are now at the surrender stage, which is your destination, right? Once you start to learn to accept that you don't have full control over your life and you start to detach your ego from the outcome, you start to get into the flow of surrendering, and by that, you make room for more. More abundance, more joy, more gratitude, more excitement, more of everything that makes you feel so good, okay? I want to share another mantra that I love to tell myself whenever I start to panic about the outcome and not feel like I have control over my life. And this has actually helped me to surrender. So the mantra is, everything has to come to an end. This too shall pass. So by saying this mantra, it keeps my mind grounded and know that I don't have to panic, because whatever that I'm feeling or facing right now, it will all come to an end. It has to pass. This is just how the way life is. Things come and go. It's a flow. And what's best is that you can actually choose to believe that everything that has happened so far and will be happening in the future will be beneficial for your growth. It has to be beneficial for your growth. So knowing this helps me to stay calm and enjoy the ride and enjoy the process of life. So I'm not saying this is gonna be easy, okay? Don't expect your life to suddenly feel like, oh, everything is so easy, you're in flow. Like, yeah, there's no obstacles or just I don't know, difficult times that you'll be facing wrong. Because like I mentioned, obstacles are a constant, okay? Everything is hard before it is easy, because growth requires you to do things that are out of your comfort zone, and those are things that you have never experienced, and hence you might find it harder to navigate at the first time. But as time goes on and as you get better at it, it becomes easy, okay? So know that nothing is easy from the start. It takes a lot of self-awareness for you to constantly remind yourself and repeat this mantra in your mind, and you start finding yourself, panicking less about like the outcome. Okay, so this mantra of everything has to come to an end, this too shall pass. Okay, life is not yours to figure out, so let it be. Surrender to allow things to happen for you. Okay, stop resisting, because when you resist, the universe can't give you what you want. When you resist, you block yourself from receiving, you block yourself from gratitude, you block yourself from love, you block yourself from your manifestations. Okay, so as promised, this is a quote that I love from Sonia Ricotti. It's, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. So basically, to break it down, what it means is that accept what is already happening in your life, let go of what has already happened, which is your past, and have faith that things will work out for the best. So that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. And again, thank you so much for sending in this request, and I hope to receive more requests from you guys. So if you have any burning questions or topics that you want me to cover, please drop me a DM on Instagram at our live seasons, or comment on whatever platform that you're on, so that I can get back to you and create a podcast episode, just to know that I'm answering questions and these podcast episodes are actually helpful for you. So with that said, I really hope that you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.